In this video, we are going to review Livorno, Italy. We're going to tell you what we think of it. We're going to tell you where we may have messed up our plans and things that we would have done differently. So if you're planning a trip to this part of Italy, stick around. There may be some surprises. Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today we are reviewing Livorno, Italy, where we are right now. We are spending a week here. In case you don't know, Livorno, Italy is in the northwestern part of the country. It's a port town. Up by Genoa, real close to Pisa, and the cruise ships love it because Livorno is a great way to get to Pisa and then on to Florence if you want to by train. So it is a cruise port. We came here because we just wanted to get next to the Mediterranean, or Ligurian Sea, if you ask some people. We thought it would just be nice to spend some time by the water. So what we're going to do, we haven't even talked about this yet, we're going to grade Livorno in 5 key categories. We're going to grade it on things to do, how easy is it to get around, how clean is it, how safe is it, and how is the food. So, with that said, let's start with things to do. You go first. What grade would you give it? A, B, C, D, F. You're a school teacher. Great.
A, B, C, D, F. Okay. As far as things to do, where we are sort of in a really pretty area, and there's a park right across the street from us.
You might hear it. Yeah.
There's some music going on. Today's Saturday, so they have some music going on, and a lot of motorcycles. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. If you're at the end of your trip and you just want someplace to relax, this is it. So my grade, I would say, is a C+.
Okay. I would give it a C, yeah, because there isn't a lot to do here. You go to the central market and you see a lot of fish that you're not going to cook. I mean, maybe if you get a place out of the kitchen, you might do something with it. But it's just cool to soak up the local flavor, and they have a market outside. But it's
lots of markets outside.
Yeah, a lot of markets outside. They have what they call the new fort, which is a really old fort, but there isn't much to it. There's the little Venice area that is kind of cool to see.
It's really cute.
And then there's the waterfront where we are. I mean, honestly, I'd say there's 2 days tops in terms of things to do in Livorno. If you're here for action-packed,
this is not the place.
Livorno seems to be built to be the place where you drop anchor on your ship and you get out of town and you go someplace else. It's the town you pass through. And so there doesn't seem to be that much in there. But like you say, if you just want to chill and you don't want a lot of things to do, then that may not matter. Next, easy to get around. How easy is it to get around?
I think it's very easy to get around. We have taken to public transportation, which is really first for us. But the bus takes you straight to the train station. The train takes you to Florence or Siena or the Tower of Pisa. So the trains are very clean, very nice, pretty efficient for the most part, as long as you know what you're doing in setting it up. I would give transportation, that's a tough one. I would probably give it a B.
Okay, I'd give it an A-.
Or an A-.
Yeah, it's... The bus drivers and the cab drivers drive crazy. They just do. But you can't beat that route. It goes from our hotel basically over to the train station, and the main drag is in between. Those few things that there are to do in town are all along that way. And for €1.70, you can ride the train for 70 minutes. I have no idea why they came up with 70 minutes, but for an hour and 10 minutes, you can just ride, hop on and off all you want to. So getting to the train station, and then every 15 minutes, there's a train to Pisa or to Florence. So, like I say, Livorno seems to be a town that is made to pass through to get to other places. And so that is very easy. And since there isn't a lot to do here, we're using it as a base to go to Pisa. Today we saw the Tower of Pisa. Tomorrow we're going to go to Cinque Terre. So it's a good base for that, but I feel like we've exhausted what there's to see here, so we're going to take advantage of the excellent transportation. All right, next category is cleanliness. How clean is it?
I would say the streets are very clean. The hotel we're staying in is very clean. But I would say that there is quite a bit of graffiti, either, on the street shops when they're closed, and sometimes just in beautiful places on the railings looking out over the water. And we have taken advantage of the bus transportation and the train transportation, and there's a lot of graffiti in those areas.
So your grade?
My grade, I'm going to have to go with a C for cleanliness.
I'd give it a C minus. So yeah, we're on the same page on that. A lot of graffiti, a lot of trash in the street. It's just kind of a dirty town, I thought. And I've walked it more like running errands and things than Lisa has. Just today, friend, there was just trash laying all over the sidewalk. And then I noticed like parks are not mowed. They're not manicured at all or even mowed. They're just kind of overgrown. So I cannot give it high marks as, if you're looking for Disney manicured beauty, you're not going to find it here. Next up, let's talk about safety. What are your thoughts?
Safety, I have once again felt safe pretty much the entire time we're here. We did do some extra walking down some back streets last night that I felt were a little sketchy. I know Scott had a different opinion than what I had at the beginning.
Until you pointed it out.
Until I pointed it out, which I probably shouldn't have done.
I'm glad you did.
But I haven't felt afraid or scared, or I haven't, tucked my purse under my clothes, or, any extremes like that.
Your grade?
For safety, I would give it a B minus.
We're on this exact same page on that. A B minus from me too. And when we went to dinner in the little Venice area of Livorno, which is really cool. But she'd raised these issues on the way there, and we were leaving this restaurant at 10:30 at night because, of course, the restaurant's open late here, and we needed to walk back up to the main drag to catch what we thought would be a bus waiting for us. Turns out they'd stopped already. So we asked our server, we have to walk from here 3 blocks up to the main drag. Is it safe? And his reaction, remember his reaction? It was...
He wasn't going to say that it was very safe. He wasn't going to say that it was very sketchy. So it was somewhere in between.
Yeah, B minus.
Just as we had, seen ourselves.
Yeah, B minus. And then finally, it's the food. What do you think of the food?
I have to give the food an A because the food everywhere in Italy so far, where we've been and what we've had to eat, has been amazing. Scott and I are both trying things that we've never had before. We're just going out on a limb and saying, okay, we're going to try it, see what happens. But we have not been disappointed.
Now, this is one where we disagree a little bit.
Oh,
I'm going to go B minus. And I know why you went with an A, because you had dessert last night that was
I didn't even think about that. It was. That wasn't what I was thinking.
I had a different dessert, but she was just gobsmacked by how good this dessert was at dinner last night. But I felt like otherwise, it's difficult you're not going to find a lot of fine dining. There's fine dining here at the hotel, and they charge a king's ransom for it. I think because there isn't a lot of fine dining in town necessarily. You're going to find very authentic places, but I feel like the best food that I had anyway was in Florence, was in Siena, and the meals here were okay. But
so I feel because it is authentic, that's why I gave it an A.
Definitely the authentic. We ate last night at a place that looked to be a boathouse down in Little Venice. It was just so cool. And then we've eaten at sandwich places where like a pigeon walks in and goes behind the counter because it's used to finding some crumbs, and the guy gets out the broom and just scares it away. I mean, that's very authentic. We
It's
didn't.
very authentic.
It wasn't like I'm discounting it because that happened. It was literally the food. I wasn't blown away by some things. So just a little bit. It's
I
still
will
well
say
above average.
the pizza is not as good as I expected. When we were in Florence, the pizza was very well done.
Yeah.
But in Livorno, the pizza is not quite as good.
And part of the food scene too is sort of the environment of it. And in Florence, we had the Porto San Frediano area. That is just like there's a place for gelato here. There's a sports bar here. There's one steak over here. There's seafood, and it's just this lit up community at night. It's vibrant. Here you kind of have just a strip of places along the water and downtown. It's like they're just sort of designed to maybe catch some people who are going back and forth from the cruise ship. And so maybe that's something about it too. Is other than Little Venice area, there isn't that vibrant community of just let's go there. We'll find something to eat. You won't find that here. So,
But the food tastes good.
so there you go. It's that's an honest assessment of Livorno. We're enjoying the the weather right now. It was pretty nasty before. I'm trying not to hold that against it, but we had some horrible weather. I wanted to really, really like Livorno, and I just sort of like it. I think would be how I put
see
that. And I imagine we'll come back on a cruise sometime, but I feel like I've spent the time here that I needed, and I'm ready to go off an adventure and to see Cinque Terre and other more interesting places.
Same.
So there we go. All right. Well, thanks so much for checking it out. Like and subscribe and all that kind of good stuff that they say on YouTube. And it has been a day, friends. It was a long day up to Pisa. So,
Ciao.
let's go. Chin chin.